Hello, welcome back. I'm Statman Dave, and today we're going to be talking about Manchester United versus Leicester City. Of course, United winning the game 2-1. This is the match report. It's new, redesigned, 3 talking points. We're also going to go into the player ratings, so stay tuned to that. Get into the comments straight away, your man of the match. And also, if you want to put in your player ratings, get involved with that as well, because we're doing lots of good stuff today. We're going to have a lot of fun. But first up, let's go through the story of the game. So, of course, we can check out the story of the game on StatZone. If you just want to load that one up right now, straight away, that would be absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely crashed. Go back to the main wide camera. But anyway, let's move on to talking about how the game unfolded for Manchester United. Again, it was a game that was interesting in terms of how United attacked and defend. Of course, the first goal coming from the penalty spot, Paul Pogba from about 12 yards out, stroking the ball home after some really good work from Alexis Sanchez and Luke Shaw. Of course, Sanchez had a shot, it ricocheted and then was handballed in the penalty area. Pogba stepping up, a little bit of a step, puts the ball into the back of the net. Moving the game on, United defended pretty well. They played some really good football out of the bat, but it came into the second half for Luke Shaw, assisted by Mata, to finish off the game for United, 2-0. In terms of what's going on there, great stuff from Luke Shaw for that full game. We're going to talk about him a little bit later on. But in terms of what I do like and what's been really, really good with Luke Shaw is how he got forward so well. Of course, with the likes of Leicester City, they did get a goal back at the end. Jamie Vardy turning in, a poacher's effort after he hit the post. In terms of the first up, the guy we want to talk about is the main man, is Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw had a fantastic game in, against Leicester City, of course, grabbing the crucial goal it turned out to be, again assisted by Mata. Some nice football for United in the final third. Mata opens it up, great ball over the top. Luke Shaw getting forward, great take on, and then goal time. The big thing with Luke Shaw, what I liked about him, not only was his ability to get forward and provide that width on that left wing, but it was getting into the penalty area and get shots on goal. That wasn't his only shot on goal. There was a great switch in the first half by Fred out to Luke Shaw, little 1-2 with Mata, Shaw shot on goal. And that's the really impressive thing about Luke Shaw's game, was how forward he was getting and how he was giving United something really big in the final third. United setting up in the 4-3-3. They're quite sort of like compact in the centre of the park, and Luke Shaw was a great outlet on that left wing. Not only did he have the most touches in the final third for Manchester United, you can see him consistently getting down there and looking forward as well, which I like. I like him being a little bit more direct, but he had the most passes in the final third. Summed up a really good game. That was for Manchester United, of course. Summed up a good game where Luke Shaw was a little bit more active, and the press conference afterwards, he sort of said that, yeah, I didn't have the greatest pre-season. I think as a United fan, we can sort of see that he didn't have the greatest pre-season, but absolutely fantastic against Leicester City and could be your man of the match. Again, get into the comments. Who is your man of the match for today's game? Is it Luke Shaw, or is it someone else like Andreas Pereira, who was absolutely fantastic at defensive midfield? Andreas Pereira is just a player that I really started to enjoy playing for Manchester United. Again, starting for Mourinho in pre-season and has delivered that form today against Leicester City. Some fantastic ability to win the ball back. I think that's the interesting side of Pereira that we hadn't seen before, was his ability to recover the ball. Again, 11 in the game, which was the joint most of any player on the pitch. But not only that as well, he was making the tackles and making the interceptions, the joint most tackles as well on the pitch, and the joint most interceptions. Again, in really crucial areas. You see where he's intercepting the ball. It's in these wide areas, protecting the back four. And key thing that you need as a defensive midfielder. Mourinho very happy with Pereira's performance. The 3 out of 5 tackles won as well. Put a great challenge on James Maddison as well in the second half. And Maddison, who we're going to talk about a little bit later on, had a really good game. But after that moment, Pereira snapped him, kind of fell out of the game, and I really like that from Andreas Pereira. But where he was good, of course, was his ball playing. He plays as a bit of a regista for Manchester United, sitting deep and arguably like dealing with the pressure on him, rolling out of that, which he did frequently for United, dropping his shoulder, out he goes, but sort of spreading the play and creating things for United with the sort of long passes, again, completing 5 out of those 6 long passes, switching the play so crucial, but also playing direct into the channel. That pass that you can see that's into the channel was to Alexis Sanchez, created a really good opportunity. He switched it to Mata. Mata couldn't find the ball to Lukaku, but it was a great move that started with Andreas Pereira deep in midfield, and I'm starting to really, warm to him as a, guy that should start for Manchester United. He's very progressive on the ball, always looking forward, always looking to play and, dictate the play with, his nice touches, his forward passing and all that good stuff. And it's, it's something that I've liked from a player like him. The partners in midfield, of course, for today. was Paul Pogba and Fred. It's a really good blend of a three-man midfield there. Of course, Pereira's dropping back in between the centre-backs. You've got Pogba, Fred. They're operating. United's shape was looking like a 3-4-3 in possession, which was really good. Pereira dropping as a 6 in between the two centre-backs. The full-backs getting nice and high. Fred and Pogba, in that central area, and then you have that front three. The front three weren't good, and we'll see that in the player ratings a little bit later on. But Andreas Pereira today, showing why Mourinho's trusted him in pre-season and why he's going to become such a good player for United, completely controlling the tempo of football. And if we look at the top players list, which is an interesting way to see in terms of how a player's developing and putting the passes down. Again, Andreas Pereira, 53 out of his 58 passes completed. Very good in terms of range there. But more interestingly, like we said before, he's topping the defensive stats. Most ball recoveries, beating someone like Wilfred Ndidi, who loves to win the ball back. And his tackles 3 out of 5. Only Matteo Darmian managed more. 3 interceptions, again, showing his quality. And that's why I think Andreas Pereira could be a real big star for Manchester United. But anyway, they've got to talk about the Leicester City players, because Leicester City play quite well. One player that's been linked with Manchester United through the window was, of course, Harry Maguire. Maguire, a player that's very, very good coming out on the ball. And we saw that at Old Trafford. His ability to step out into midfield, completing 91% of his passes. Again, he's just a wonderful player. He's so good. Let's not forget that it was just the World Cup where Harry Maguire's been performing. It's been for Leicester City, and we saw that today against Manchester United. So confident on the ball and stepping out into midfield, looking to link with his teammates. Ball recoveries 8 as well. Very good for a centre-half. So it's one of those things where Harry Maguire was good on the ball, didn't do that much defensive work, because you want to look at the possession, for example. Leicester City did dominate the possession, 54% to Leicester City, which was interesting. I'd like United to maybe stand on the ball a little bit more, but it was good. Other players that I thought were really good for Leicester City, the player that I mentioned before Pereira snapped him, Maddison was fantastic. That chance that he had, the David De Gea wonder save, unbelievable save. You're not seeing it. Pereira down the right-hand side, cuts the ball back. Maddison shot on goal. Really, really good save there. But I liked his creativity as well. He's playing as a number 10, floating around, looking to play passes into the penalty area. A lot around the box. Through balls to people making runs in behind. There was a great move with him and Damari, him and Iheanacho. Iheanacho got a shot just across the box. That was all about James Maddison. And it's interesting to see a player really come from the Championship and perform well in the Premier League. But anyway, guys, I think it's time for player ratings. Again, it's time for that. Let's get that up right now. Let's move on to the player ratings. So for Manchester United, first up, we've got, of course, David De Gea in goal. I'll give him an 8. Into the back four of Manchester United, I think Luke Shaw deserves the 9. What a performance he had. Involved in both of the goals. Really good width on the right-hand side. What I enjoy with someone like Eric Bailly and what he did today was he was so good at winning the ball back, so good on the cover. There was 3 times where Leicester City got in behind Manchester United, and Bailly was always the guy on the cover, making those challenges, making the sort of decisions in the right situation. Again, we saw Lingard and Lindelof, and Bailly play together. They won 100% of their tackles together. But if we just pop up back onto Stat Zone and we can have a look at the guys in midfield for United, of course, Andreas Pereira getting a 9 out of 10 as well. But the other 2 guys, Pogba and Fred, really impressed me in central midfield. Pogba had his swagger back. Pogba scored 11 Premier League goals for Manchester United. United have won every single one of those. A record he shares with Ryan Babel as the most in Premier League history. But what I like with Pogba, defensively, was really good. Not only did he score the penalty, he had a nice shot from outside the area as well, but defensively was making the clearances at the right time, especially from corners and winning aerial duels in the penalty area. And that's what I like from Pogba. I want to see him defend more. Again, you can see him defending that left-hand side for Alexis Sanchez, and I really like that, allowing Sanchez to stay a little bit higher. Sanchez didn't have the greatest game. Again, player ratings there, we've only given him a 6 out of 10, but the guy that Pogba's partner in midfield, Fred, absolutely fantastic. I thought he was really good in terms of the things I wanted to see from him, switching the play, which he did frequently, as you can see by his pass map, but also winning the ball back and being aggressive in central midfield. Those 5 ball recoveries, the 1 tackle, 3 interceptions, good defensive stats, and he was very alive, and that's what I wanted to see from Fred. Very, very alive. Can we switch on now to the Leicester City player ratings, and we'll quickly go through those before we wrap it up today. Before we talk about your man of the match, get into the comments, man of the match for you guys. Keep bashing those comments in and putting those in there. But anyway, of course, for Leicester City, some really good performances. I thought Kasper Schmeichel was awesome, to be quite fair. The 1v1 save on Romelu Lukaku was brilliant. Maguire also getting at 8. And I like James Maddison as well in attacking midfield. He's a player that's going to be really good in the Premier League and really sort of, pushing, in terms of what's going to go down for Leicester. He'll be driving them forward in the final third again. The most chances created in the Championship last season and the third most shots. So a player that's really, really good. But guys, get into the comments now. We're going to do the man of the match, the Statman Dave man of the match. You guys get to decide what it is. So I'll get into the comments right now. And you'll be doing now, could be Fred. I think that's man of the match. Lol, Darmian was awful. Darmian wasn't great. Again, we gave him a rating that was, you know, I think we was on about 5 out of 10. Not having a great thing. Bailly, man of the match. Pereira and De Gea in a second and third, sorry. Rashford made some good runs. The front three wasn't great. Getting comments in. Lukaku should have chipped Schmeichel. Interesting. Mourinho, masterclass. Lindelof was poor. I thought Lindelof wasn't too bad. Thought there were moments where Bailly did get him out, but I think those two as a partnership look good together. That would be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, keep getting into the comments, guys. Who is your man of the match? And then we will wrap things up today. Bailly, man of the match. A lot of shouts for Bailly. Pogba coming in for man of the match. More Bailly, Eric Bailly. Okay, guys, so we're going to have to go through Eric Bailly's stats on Stat Zone because you guys have voted for him as man of the match today. So we're going to jump into Eric Bailly's stats. You know, decent on the ball. 96% of his passes completed. Very safe, but he didn't need to do that. That's why Pereira is so important in this side, because you've got the main man in there, Eric Bailly, dictating the play. In terms of ball recovery, 6 ball recoveries, decent, a lot in the penalty area. You like that. Yeah, that's what exactly you want to see. 100% of his tackles, won the 2 tackles in the penalty area. Very good stuff. Both on the cover as well. Fantastic tackles. The one in the middle, absolutely awesome tackle. Bailly getting back, staying on his feet, winning it. Absolutely brilliant. And then the 1 interception, 1 block, and 6 clearances. Eric Bailly's your man of the match. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like that goddamn video. Subscribe if you are new. I am Statman Dave. See you guys in a bit.